Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, members of the Regimental family and friends of the Pipes and Drums. I'm Drum Major Sean Kelly. Welcome to the 78th annual Lorne Scots Pipes and Drums Robbie Burns event. Tonight, you will experience all your favorites. Pipes, drums, dance tunes, poetry, and of course, the address to the Haggis by our very own Corporal Cunningham. So sit back in your favorite chair and grab a beverage and enjoy the show. Don't forget to say hi in the chat and share your favorite Burns memories. And now, over to Pipe Major Federico. Sláinte.
The address to the Haggis is the highlight of any Robbie Burns event. But why? What makes this poem about food so special? Burns was an anti-monarchist and a Republican. He proclaimed the strength of the working class. He was a supporter of the Scottish peasantry and of the French revolutionaries, and looked down on the pageantry and aristocracy and their glut of fancy and extravagant meals. Thus, an address to a Haggis, written in 1786, is a proclamation of the strength of simple Scottish farm food and a put-down of aristocratic, particularly French, extravagance. The poem is an address. The speaker is talking directly to the haggis itself. The speaker proclaims the strength of the haggis, a sausage so great that it overflows the plate it's served on, and stands above all other foods. Haggis is so delicious that when it is served, crowds will scrape every crumb they can out of its casing, leaving nothing left. Afterwards, the haggis continues to sustain, as the pin holding it together can be used to fix equipment. The poem continues, proceeding to insult French fine cuisine, and by extension, the French themselves. French food is no more than slop in a bowl, so vile that it would make a pig vomit in the corner, and that any soldier fed on French food would be too weak to fight, such that a breeze could blow them over. But a Scotsman, fed on haggis, is a walking behemoth, running through miles of fields, swinging their sword, chopping arms and heads and legs off all of their enemies. Finally, the address concludes with a challenge to the gods themselves, that if they wish men to pray to them, give them haggis. The pageantry of the address is a continuation of the joke. The haggis is paraded around on a litter like an emperor with great reverence, led by a piper. The extravagance of the ceremony is only grown, with the address followed by toasts, poetry, and lectures on Burns himself.
Fair fall, your honest, sonsy face, great chieftain of the puddin' race, aboon them all ye tak your place, pinch, tripe or fair. Weel are you worthy o' grace, as lang's my air. The groaning trencher there ye fill, your hurdies like a distant hill. Your pin would help to mend a mill in time of need, while through your pores the dews distill, like amber bead. His knife, see rustic labour dight, and cut ye up ready slight, trenching your gushing entrails bright like ony ditch. Then, oh, what a glorious sight! Warm, reeking, rich. Then horn for horn they stretch and strive, deal tack the hindmost on they drive, till all their wheel-swall kites be live, or bent like drums. Then all good man mayst like to rive, be thanked hums. Is there that o'er his French ragout, or olio would Oh, a sow or fricassee would make her spew with perfect skinner. Looks with sneering, scornful view on sick a dinner. Poor deal, see him o'er his trash, as feckless as a withered rush. His spindle shank a good whiplash, his knave a knit through bloody flood or field to dash. Oh, how unfit! But mark the rustic, Haggis fed. The trembling earth resounds his tread, clapping his wally knee a blade, he'll mak it whistle, and legs and arms and heads will sned, like taps of thistle. Ye powers who mak mankind your care, and dishes out our bill of fare. Old Scotland wants nae skinking ware that jots and luggies, but if you wish her grateful prayer, gie her a haggis. Sláinte bad donna Regiment, Sláinte vor donna bandri, a dulhange.
Hi, I'm Craig Heenan, Honorary Colonel of the Lorne Scots, and I'm so pleased that you could be with us this evening to celebrate the 78th annual Robbie Burns Day, put on by our Pipes and Drums. Now, I'm disappointed that we can't all be together in person, but thrilled with the innovation of the Pipes and Drums to ensure that we continue the tradition. And that tradition is important, that we celebrate Robbie Burns and his poetry as it connects us to our Scottish heritage. So let's tip a glass to the man and his poetry, Robbie Burns, and to the Lorne Scots. Erson Arduchis.
Formed in 1881, the Pipes and Drums of the Lorne Scots are the second oldest established regimental pipes and drums in Canada. The Pipes and Drums have performed across North America and Europe and have participated in a variety of events, including concerts, art festivals, various local ethnic celebrations, civic receptions, military tattoos, retreat ceremonies such as Fortissimo on the Parliament Hill in Ottawa, and royal visits. There is a long tradition of this going back to 1936, when Pipe Major Hamilton McCarroll was part of the composite pipe band at the unveiling of the Vimy Monument in France. During the Second World War, while some members of the Pipes and Drums served overseas, the Pipes and Drums of the Home Battalion regularly paraded troops to their departure points for overseas service and helped to maintain essential morale at home. At the end of the war, the Pipes and Drums was once again present at the train station to welcome troops home and to lead the parade down Main Street in Brampton. In 1960, under the direction of Pipe Major Joe Sellers and Drum Major Finn McCallum, the Lorne Scots were the first Canadian Reserve pipe band to attend the Edinburgh Tattoo. This received national news coverage and was so successful that the Pipes and Drums were invited back again in 1970. In 2016, the regiment celebrated its 150th anniversary and trooped the colour with its Colonel-in-Chief, His Royal Highness, the Duke of Kent, as the reviewing officer. The Pipes and Drums played a critical role in that event by providing the music for the entire ceremony and contributed significantly to its success. The regiment, and in particular the Pipes and Drums, have maintained a close relationship with its allied regiment, the Lancashire Fusiliers. Now amalgamated into the Royal Regiment of Fusiliers, we have participated in many events in Bury, England, including the Gallipoli Day Parade and the opening of the Fusiliers Museum. In 2019, the Pipes and Drums took part in celebrations commemorating the 50th anniversary of the creation of the Royal Regiment of Fusiliers in London, England. Along with parading through the streets of the City of London with the Royal Regiment of Fusiliers, the Pipes and Drums performed at the Tower of London and at Windsor Castle.
The Lorne Scots, like all Scottish regiments, maintain a close tie to our heritage. Robbie Burns Day and the celebrations that surround it are an essential part of that heritage. For 78 years, the Pipes and Drums have held a Burns event with music and food. From the Brampton Armoury Parade Square to the gym floors of Century Gardens and Terry Miller Rec Centres to the multiple halls of Pearson Convention Centre to online, our Burns event has grown exponentially. We have featured talents of guest musicians, Celtic folk bands, many Highland dance schools, and even a 30-piece big band. Many members of our Pipes and Drums and the regiment have addressed the Haggis with varying degrees of Scottish accent, and many unsuspecting troops have found themselves called a poor devil or marked rustic, the Haggis fed. Guests have found themselves pulled onto the dance floor to take part in a crowded gay Gordons or stumble their way through the dashing white sergeant. These celebrations are ingrained in our regimental history and help bind our members' memories to the Pipes and Drums and to the regiment as a whole.
To a mouse, on turning her up in her nest with the plough. Wee sleeket, cowrin, timorous beastie, oh, what a panic's in thy breastie. Thou needna start awa sae hasty wi' bickering brattle. I would be laith to rin and chase thee wi' murdering pattle. I'm truly sorry man's dominion has broken nature's social union, and justifies that ill opinion which makes thee startle at me, thy poor earth-born companion and fellow mortal. I doubt now whiles, but thou may thieve. What then, poor beastie, thou mun live? A Damon Icker and a thrave's a small request. I'll get a blessing with the lave, and never missed. Thy wee bit housey too, in ruin, its silly walls the winds are strewin', and Nathan now to big a new ane of foggage green, and bleak December's winds ensuin', baith snell and keen. Thou saw the fields laid bare and waste, and weary winter comin' fast, and cosy here beneath the blast thou thought to dwell, till crash, the cruel coulter passed out through thy cell. That wee bit heap o' leaves and stibble has cost thee mony a weary nibble. Now thou's turned out for all thy trouble, but house or hold, to thole the winter's sleety dribble and cranach cold. But mousie, thou art no thy lane, improving foresight may be vain. The best laid schemes o' mice and men gang after glee, and lay us naught but grief and pain for promised joy. Still thou art blessed compared with me, the present only toucheth thee. But och, I backward cast my ee on prospects drear, and forward though I cannot see, I guess and fear.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's 78th annual Robbie Burns dinner. I'm the commanding officer, Lieutenant Colonel Robert Fraser. Unfortunately, we're not able to gather this year, but hope to do so in the very near future. I'd like to commend the pipe major and the drum major and our fabulous Lorne Scots, pipes and drums, on putting together such an excellent virtual event. I look forward to seeing you all next year, where we'll have all the traditional Burns Night festivities, including the Ode to the Haggis, the playing of the Gay Gordon, and of course, Scottish country dancing. Have a great evening.
Thank you for joining us for our 78th annual Robbie Burns event. We hope you enjoyed the show, and on behalf of myself, the drum major, and all the members of the Pipes and Drums, we invite you to join us again next year. Sláinte.